Hey, welcome to LearnEng. I'm Emma, and I am so excited because today we are kicking off a brand new series, Parts of Speech, Mistakes, and Quick Fixes. In each one of these explainers, we're going to tackle one part of speech, focus on the mistakes people actually make, and show you how to fix them super fast. This is LearnEng. Learn it, feel it, live it. And our very first explainer is all about adjectives. Now, I know what you're thinking. Adjectives. They seem pretty simple, right? But these little descriptive words are actually behind some of the most common and sometimes embarrassing mistakes in English. I promise, by the end of our time together today, you're going to know 5 of the biggest adjective mistakes and exactly how to fix them on the spot. You ready? Let's get into it. So why does this even matter? Well, let me tell you a quick story about a student of mine. Picture this. She's at a huge job interview. She's completely prepared, she's feeling confident, she's ready to go. The interviewer leans in, smiles, and asks a really simple question. So, how are you feeling today? And my student, with total sincerity, looks right back and says, I feel very nervously. And there was this pause. The interviewer just smiled politely, and my student had no idea what just went wrong. So what happened? She used an adverb, nervously, when she needed an adjective, nervous. And just that one little word made her sound so much less confident than she actually was. Now, spoiler alert, she got the job because she was brilliant. But that kind of tiny mistake happens in conversations all the time, and nobody ever seems to explain it clearly. Well, until today. Okay, let's start with mistake number 1. This is, without a doubt, the most common adjective mistake in spoken English. And honestly, even native speakers mess this up sometimes. It's all about the confusion between an adjective and an adverb, especially with those tricky words good and well. Okay, so here's the fundamental rule. It's actually pretty simple. An adjective describes a noun, a person, a place, or a thing. An adverb, on the other hand, describes a verb, an action. So the big question you always have to ask yourself is, what am I describing right now? If you're describing a thing, you need an adjective. If you're describing how an action is done, you need an adverb. And this slide just makes it crystal clear, doesn't it? Look at the first one. He is a good singer. Here, good is the adjective, and it's describing this singer, a person, a noun. But in the second one, he sings well. Well is an adverb. It's not describing him, it's describing how he sings, the action. See the difference? All right, and here is your quick fix. After verbs like feel, look, seem, or sound, we call these linking verbs, you should always use an adjective. So, for a quick memory check, just say this out loud with me. I feel good. She speaks well. You wouldn't say I feel well about my exam unless you're talking about your physical health. And please never, ever say she speaks good. Okay, let's roll right into our second big mistake. Now this one is fascinating. When you use more than one adjective before a noun, English has this secret, unwritten rule order. Most native speakers follow this rule without even realizing it exists. But if you get it wrong, it can make your English sound just a little bit off. So, this slide shows you the whole secret code. It kicks off with opinion, then it goes through size, age, shape, color, and it finishes with origin or material. I know, that looks like a lot to memorize, right? But don't worry, please don't try to memorize it. There's a much simpler trick to get this right almost all the time. Here it is, your simple shortcut. You only need to remember 2 little things. First, opinion words, like beautiful, ugly, terrible, they always go first. And second, color always comes right before the nationality or origin. So it's a red Italian car. If you can just remember those 2 rules, I promise you'll be correct like 90% of the time. Moving on to mistake number 3. Now this one is huge. It's so common, and getting it wrong can totally change the meaning of your sentence, sometimes in a pretty funny way. It's all about the confusion between adjectives that end in ed and adjectives that end in ing. The rule is actually really simple when you see it laid out like this. Adjectives ending in ed describe how a person feels. They describe the effect. So I am bored. But adjectives ending in ing describe the thing that causes that feeling. So the movie is boring. The movie is the cause of my feeling. So here's your quick fix. Just ask yourself one simple question. Am I talking about the person who has the feeling, or am I talking about the thing that creates it? If it's the person, use ed. If it's the thing, use ing. It's really that simple. I am bored. The film is boring. All right, let's power through our last two mistakes. These are both really common and you'll be happy to hear super easy to fix. So first up is mistake number 4, double comparatives. Oh, I hear this one all the time. It's short, it's sharp, and it's so common. When we're making comparisons, sometimes learners will use both more and the er ending on a word at the same time. You can say more beautiful and you can say bigger, but you can never, ever have both. And the fix? So simple. You just choose one or the other, never both. For short adjectives, you add er. For longer ones, you use more. So it's not more bigger, it's just bigger. Easy. And our fifth and final mistake is what I like to call stacking. This is when you use two adjectives that mean basically the same thing just for emphasis, like saying, a very large, big house. Now, it's not technically wrong, but it sounds kind of weak. The fix is to find one single, more powerful word. So instead of very big, why not say enormous? Instead of very cold, say freezing. Trust me, one powerful adjective is always better than two weak ones. Okay, are you ready? It's time for a quick practice challenge. I'm going to give you a sentence with an adjective mistake in it. You'll have about 4 seconds to spot it and fix it in your head. Let's do it. Okay, sentence number 1. I feel very nervously before presentations. What's the mistake there? The fix is I feel very nervous. Why? Because feel is one of those linking verbs, so it needs an adjective, not an adverb. Next one for you. She has a Italian, small, beautiful handbag. What's wrong with that order? You got it. The fix is she has a beautiful, small Italian handbag. Remember our secret order? Opinion first, then size, then origin. All right, question 3. The lecture was very boring and I was boring too. Can you spot that mistake? Of course you can. The fix is I was bored. The lecture is the thing causing the feeling, so it's boring. You are the person with the feeling, so you are bored. And the last one, let's see. This bag is more cheaper than the designer one. What's wrong with that? And the last one. Let's see. This bag is more cheaper than the designer one. What's wrong with that? The fix is simply, this bag is cheaper. You never use more and er together. So how did you do? Hey, even getting 2 or 3 of those right is a massive improvement. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought. Adjectives. They are not just pretty decoration for your sentences. They are the real difference between sounding clear and sounding confused. They're the difference between sounding confident and sounding unsure. When you fix your adjectives, you really transform your English. Okay, so for your homework this week, I want you to go down to the comments and write just one sentence. Describe something in your life using at least 2 adjectives, and make sure they're in the correct order. It can be your room, your city, your favorite food, anything at all. And I promise you, I read every single comment. Thank you so much for being here today. This is Learning, Learn It, Feel It, Live It. I'll see you in our next explainer, where we are going to tackle verb mistakes. Until then, take care and keep practicing. Hey, if this explainer helped you at all, could you do me a favor and hit that like button? It really does help other learners find this content. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next explainer all about verb mistakes. And if you can, please share this with just one friend who's also working on their English. I'll see you next week.